that show.
You hear what they said, Jane? I'm gonna be indicted.
Yeah, but you only said what they told
Indicted,
you.
Jane! Indicted! I'm gonna be indicted!
No, wait, it's gonna be okay.
Indicted!
Honey, Dick.
Indicted!
Honey.
I'm gonna be indicted!
Hold it, they can't. It's gonna be okay. Just calm down.
I can't calm down, I'm gonna be indicted! Indicted!
What is up?
Woodman.
How we doing?
What's going on, brothers?
How we doing?
How are you
Indicted.
guys doing?
Ah!
Brought the old indicted back. That was awesome.
Yes,
I was able to find it there. And
Real awesome.
I wonder if Trump enjoyed it. Yes.
Oh, yeah. I did. No, awesome.
Somebody
Awesome.
sent
Woodman and I
hand
could
puppet.
be beaming in the studio today. All kinds of stuff happening.
Yes, that worked out. We can go here for about an hour. Well, a little under an hour or so. What do you guys think with everything going on? Rod Rosenstein. Did you guys get a chance to hear anything on that? Check that out. Rod Rosenstein is resigning.
Oh, HotRod. He's hot potato.
HotRod. He's all over this.
Out of here.
Now,
Out of here.
Real quick here. Welcome, Patriots. Yep, I see JR Arizona Patriot. Mike Woodman Ben. Howdy. Hey, howdy back.
What's up? Sherry Owens.
What's
Fantastic.
going on? Mary
Fantastic.
Lindsay, full house.
Joel Helsman. Ooh, full house.
Mary Lindsay says full house here. Yes, we are, minus one member of full house, which would be Lori Laughlin. She's not available.
Oh, there we go. And of course, her chitlins going through the current Laughlin administration of education.
Hello from Wyoming. Hello from Canada, or hi from Canada.
Penny Walton. Yeah, what's up from Canada? Sandy, Missouri, Kansas City. Man, you guys are awesome.
Patty Blythe. Thank you. Calls us all handsomeness. Handsome. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, your handsomeness. This is handsomenesses. That's a tongue twister. All right, looks like we got a good stream going here. We got a real good green signal, a healthy stream. We got about
I got the other machine looking good.
Let me
Oh
do
yeah,
a
it's
little.
coming in strong.
Let me do a little beam out to the social media here.
Yeah, so I don't know, Mike, you had put out in some couple earlier episodes going over some of the Q posts that had mentioned Rod Rosenstein and what to expect potentially. Then of course calling the next in line, Rod Rosenstein's next, and boom,
Yeah, it's
here
like
he is.
April 18th. That April 18th, Rod Rosenstein next? Question mark. You know?
Question mark, and then so he's putting in his official letter of resignation, which is for the 11th of this next month. Was about 12 days away. I anticipate so. Pretty crazy. I know even prior to that in 2018, they were talking about, the correlation between Rod Rosenstein, old HotRod, and some of the other players involved. And he was one in maybe a couple of steps. Like, hey, guess what's happening? When he goes down, there's only a correlation between a couple of other ones. So I find that pretty interesting that the news hasn't really been real big on this. It was just reported and that's it, kind of like, hey, it's a letter of resignation. Is this yet another person that Trump's running away, quote unquote? So
all right, hold on. I know he won't mind. I've worked with him in the past. This caught my attention. That's why if you just read the Q post and kind of follow it, there's not much said on Rosenstein. It tells you what's going on. But here, let's take a look at this. Now I'm gonna have to pull up another screenshot. So let me do this. Desktop capture. I believe that's screen one. Nope.
By the way, Woodman, I'm loving your background, brother. It's looking beautiful. I like the American, all your American flag and I like that. Jesus saves, Yeshua saves, brother. I like that.
You know it.
There it is.
Oh, Mike's holding it down. We were talking about some cool. Okay, here we go.
Okay, let me see if I can make
cat.
that widescreen or something. I don't know if it's not.
Oh, Greg Rubini.
Yes, shout out to Greg widescreen.
Yes.
Boom, there it is. Greg Rubini. Let me get the ticker off. Well, we can leave the ticker on. So here we go. Let me make this a little bigger for you guys. Tell me if that helps out.
Beautiful. Perfect.
Okay, so Greg Rubini is 14 hours ago. Please forward my personal thanks to Rod Rosenstein for an excellent work he has done in the last 24 months since April 26 of 2017. Rod, a true unsung hero. IQ equals 175 and a great sense of humor. There we go.
The Giuliani.
Is that number 7 or something? Replying to Donald Trump. Okay, so if we go to 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Why Rod Rosenstein resigned. Simple job. All right, keep this in mind. I'll read these real quick, then we'll talk about it and take some comments. Why Rod Rosenstein resigned. Indictments will follow. Brennan, Clapper, Comey, Stroke, Yates, Bruce Orr, Nellie Orr, David Loffman, George Takis, and Susan Rice. We go up to this key sentence in the Rosenstein resignation letter to the President Trump, and I got that letter. I can pull it up. I am grateful to you for the courtesy and humor you often display in our personal conversations. 3, and for the goals you set in the inaugural address: patriotism, unity, safety, education, and prosperity. Isn't it clear? Rod Rosenstein is a Republican, always been. 4, the sense of humor of Rod Rosenstein is legendary for those who have been able to get it. So here's the actual resignation letter. 5, you can read the real resignation letter here. Forget the BS the fake news outlets are spewing, including Fox in this case. Number 6, you will read the letter of a patriot. The last words of Rosenstein's letter are, "We always put America first." So I think it was the one before this whole little 1 through 6, exactly replying to. I thought he had something more up here I was seeing.
Still begs a very interesting question.
Well, and again, if you follow Q's, I don't know if he's talked a lot of trash. He just lays out this narrative. So I don't know if, like I said, if this guy has done something dirty a while ago, but is now playing a role, the whole last hour thing, or or what? But what were you going to say? It begs the question of what? I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Well, I mean, no, some of the prior Q posts, I know, like especially like the 21-29 post. If Mueller's or if Rod Rosenstein's corrupt, then Mueller must also be corrupt, or vice versa. And I don't know again where you can look at that to possibly be. Well, again, is this all a game? And again, we don't know all the 80% behind the scenes. We're only privy to what the public scope is and the public. So as we get it.
Yes. Yes. No, let's do the old players. Remember this?
Yep. Let's do the players. See who's
Rod. What is new Rod? Right
Hot
here.
Rod.
Unknown neutral.
Unknown neutral. So
this is kind of an interesting little theory here now we just jumped upon. So again, I don't know. We go back and read all those. I can pull them up now. I guess I'll do that while we're talking here.
He was the deputy attorney general, so he wasn't like, in a lower space. He handled a lot of delicate information, and
just like
was he Lisa, one of the good guys? But he's just kind of sleeping, getting real. I mean, he's like one of the guys you don't talk about in the mission. He's the guy you just sit there. You want to.
And he might have been bad or gotten to at one point, you know what I'm saying, and like been working. Mm-hmm. So again, in the history books, it'll go down like he had to be removed from office. He'll never be able to do anything there. He's stepping down. But
his job was done and complete.
Yeah,
he stepped away with
just like in a good movie, folks. You have the people that are good guys, but they go bad. And then I don't know. Did Woodman freeze up or something? It looks like he's kind of freezing. There he is.
Are you there, Woodman? Let us know you're going on. Oop. Now I can't. He hears no volume. I don't hear Woodman. He's a moving.
Do we got 5 of 5 from people? You don't have no headphones on.
He's probably trying. There you go.
Can we get a comms check from the people out there?
I know. Do you hear? I mean, Mike, you hear me? Am I coming through in your feed or what?
Yeah, I hear you. You hear me?
Sweet. I hear you, brother. We're having good convo, people. We're doing good. But yeah, you can see Woodman's having a little bit of technical difficulties over there.
He almost looks ghostly.
So.
You guys can hear us, though, right? You hear me and Ben talking back and forth, showing you everything we've been going over.
Yeah, let us know. Just know Woodman.
Gotcha.
Okay, cool. He's all right. We'll let that soldier toe the line in his electronics. We'll keep it going here. So yeah, it's interesting. So his Rod Rosenstein, his whole idea of, is he in there to do a particular job? This was his last, hoorah, if you will, on the Capitol Hill, and he was just doing some cleanup stuff. Some of these guys who that this is their last particular job or his term, or he was stepping out from the deputy's position. What do you have to lose other than doing a great job?
Technical errors. Woodman, can you hear us? If you could hear us, put a thumbs up.
Yeah, freeze with the thumbs up.
Maybe he's backing out. Maybe he's backing out and going to try to come back in. We'll see. I don't know. It seemed all fine before we got in, but that's how it always goes. Yeah,
Apis said Center London going down. There's a lot of stuff over across the pond that's happening too, man. We're not only getting stuff crazy here, man. It's popping off all over. Final Joe says, I don't think Rod even knows who he is. Just another meat puppet jumping to whatever side is convenient. And that could be true. I mean,
well, you see here, guys,
could use that flip-floppy.
Well, you see, even on the Patriot or the pub board, I mean, those are pretty much all the Q things are there. There's a lot of experts in the Q phenomenon there. They have him labeled as neutral and unknown. Woodman, are you back there? We could see you moving.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. There you go. So if it happens again, brother, just pop out and pop back in.
This is the third time I've done that.
Well, I got you. Let me see what's going on here. What is is L home?
No, not yet.
Okay.
No.
All right. Well, I got you down as low as I can go. I got you guys down as low as I really want to take you on the feed. It's we've done higher, but I don't know.
Mad Mike, where we go one, we go all. FISA D class next. Now, I think speaking on the FISA on the declassing, that I think the Comey's got to do his thing. I know one of the Q posts had said, Comey then D class because C becomes before D. I think that was kind of a little, maybe a Q joke of sorts, when it comes, A, B, C, D. So we'll see how that goes. That's for sure. Yeah, there's no doubt, man, to what is happening. Something obviously huge is brewing. Rosenstein.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of hard to put a thumb on him to say, okay, yes, he is the deep state. He's part of the swamp. That's why he's gone. But yet he held in the whole entire time when the first, almost a year ago, first round of politicians, CEOs.
A lot of these texts are from that time last year, trying to tell us that it kind of took like, oh, he's going to go down like in April of last year, or we don't know what these were telling us, folks. The timeline wise, it wasn't what we all took it to be because it was coming out last year, telling us things that it was going to happen within a week or two, and then when it didn't, that's when a lot of people fell off. And no, this ain't correct. It's the future proves past type thing.
So we'll be interesting.
We still got you, Woodman. Can we hear you?
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, there it is.
Yes, sir. All right, let's go. Sweet.
So let's just look at a few of these. We don't have to read them all precisely, but stating going all the way back to these are some of the newer ones. Let me just pull down here, but it never. I'm not sure what it tells us as far as whether he was a good or bad guy. And that's why even the board has it. It just tells you what's going on with Rosenstein, and he's going to be leaving. Rosenstein equals this.
Well, Rosenstein
he just could be a place marker.
Yeah, he was complaining that a couple of days ago, acting like this. This wouldn't happen. Did you watch that?
What now?
Rosenstein there days ago was on this news thing talking about everything but his position, and he didn't mention at all about him stepping down. You know what I mean? So never mind. I thought you guys seen that.
No, I did not. Was the D class already cleared for release?
Remember, POTUS already ordered D class. Rod Rosenstein pushed back hard.
POTUS on Air
was
Force
the gambit
One.
Played?
Where's that gambit?
Yeah, watch your right. Was a gambit played by Rod Rosenstein to stall and delay post-election, banking on D's from the House. POTUS after Air Force One. Rod Rosenstein, an enemy who feels safe, is an enemy who So I mean, we don't know if it's where he plays in or out. I mean,
I don't know what the hell just happened there.
I think you just went back to just reset that instead of there you go. Include the Rod Rosenstein in the secondary class.
So Mueller. A lot of Muellers.
New York Times, Rod Rosenstein wear a wire. Sessions subpoena. Oh.
Yeah, he wanted to wear the wire. I had that in my meme, one of the memes in the video last night. I should have wore the wire. He talked about it.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, we'll have to dig through that a little more. We won't just sit there and do that right now.
It is something to have a lot of you guys who are watching, even the subscribers, kind of delve into, and definitely leave comments below, man, on not only the Patriot Tech but the Patriot Hour on you feel about this, because this is something. Hey, we know things are going to be happening May 11th. He's stepping down and leaving, but that'd be a great little homework for you guys out there to try to ascertain and see which side do you think he's on. Is he just a ragdoll pawn, and both sides are playing with him and kind of using him as a courier, if you will, between two sides, and he's unknowing, and he did his job, and now that particular carrier pigeon's out of function and moving on to the next mission, or is he part of something bigger? Does he know about something bigger? I think is probably the larger question. Madeline Grievely, my head is spinning. I don't know who to believe anymore. Well, that's very true. Very true. This is why, you take everything with a grain of salt. What we're telling you, go research it yourself. This Q map, and they have all kinds of good stuff on here in the Q drops, and it's kind of for you to
Danielle
do a little research.
had said something about April 27th, so I don't know what she was saying. Did y'all go back to April 27th? It said something. I know, so keep an eye on her comment because I'm looking.
Okay,
we're on
yeah.
April 27th. Peace on North Korean.
April 27th, 2018.
That's
She's
what I'm
saying.
on. FBI deep state cleaning. FBI raid.
Rod Rosenstein signed off on the
1287
post.
Rod
Right there,
Rosenstein signed off.
What documents were collected. But also in 1286, it says Rod Rosenstein to POTUS, not being investigated. Mueller to POTUS, not a crime, not a target.
Rod Rosenstein to POTUS, not being investigated. Mueller to POTUS, not a crime target. Criminal to POTUS, not being investigated.
Baiting POTUS? Huh. Don't see much more. Is there there's one more down there? Or?
Yeah, there's still more.
Getting in with
Danielle
Flynn.
said, did she tell us an exact post number?
I don't know, yeah. Oh, Danielle, let us know if it's an exact post number you're looking for. We're kind of scouring over the
27th.
27th.
Kind of down to the 26th now.
Mm-hmm. A national security issue, possibly.
NatSec.
A little bit of NatSec.
NatSec.
Not the NUT. You know what I'm talking about.
Special counsel targeting.
Mad Mike, WWG1WA. New Jersey mayor stepped down due to voter fraud Sunday. Huh. Nice.
Election voter
Stuff's
fraud
coming
right
out.
here. CIA, DNI, FBI, Secretary of State, President. More than you can imagine. HRC insurance win. Why cover remaining illegal acts? Confused. Special counsel is targeting who? Special counsel on team. Special counsel off.
No worries, Danielle. We'll keep on looking.
World is watching.
So there's you see. Yeah, yeah.
Sharing of the intel of bad actors is what we're seeing here. So what have you, what else is going on? Any breaking? Let me take a look here.
No, I'll tell you what though, this next month, May, what the old April showers brings May flowers. We're going to be seeing a lot of some good unveiling of documents and a lot of indictments. That's going to be a lot of fun to see coming up. I'm crossing my fingers. It's going to be a good summer of that. So, I bet you everybody around the country is kind of happy to kind of get out of this crazy subarctic winter we've all had across the nation. So, and even a lot of you guys across the pond are experiencing some crazy stuff as well. So,
MBC caught using fake photo.
There you go, Mary Lindsay. Yeah, exactly. You can start in March. Up
Did
here
you
for
see
the
that
north where I'm
phone
at.
was thrown at Trump at that rally up in was that in Wisconsin, Woodman?
The what now? Who got thrown what at it?
A phone got thrown at the president of the United States of America. A smartphone.
I didn't catch that part. I wish I would have though.
I just saw it the other day. I saw a glimpse of it on the TV.
Now that was another Wisconsin rally, and the individual was.
At the NRA speech. So it was at the Indianapolis one 4 days ago. It was about 4 days ago. Phone thrown at the President Trump during the NRA speech. And here's Woodman saying that he watched every bit of it, but I guess he didn't.
Not the NRA speech. I watched almost all the Wisconsin one. It was a real big.
I'm messing with you, brother.
I know you.
That is good stuff. Good stuff. I gotta have some drama on the show once in a while. You SOB. No joking. It's a joke.
I mean, but still, it's like, why? Was somebody so upset with what he was saying that he or she just couldn't stand it? Had to just throw your phone. Like that's gotta be the most idiotic thing to do. I mean, it's like that's the president. You got guys with highly armed individuals with mere stone's throw, and you're gonna try to throw a phone. So I think that's hilarious.
That's hilarious. So how about out in L.A. there was a man arrested on terrorism charges. He what
was it? I think somebody was saying that in the comments, things about an arm. The man arrested for terrorism charges.
Man
who
arrested
supports
on
ISIS.
He's reportedly a homegrown terrorist. Now, what? Tell us the difference between homegrown, indo, outdo.
I don't know these agricultural terms you guys speak of. Man,
right.
what's your version of it? What does that word homegrown mean to you when it comes in the way of terrorism?
He was raised here.
This is where this is his homeland.
Yeah, he
Not
was
my
born
home.
and raised here, and he did this in the basement of your typical suburban home, right outside of the. I don't know, but I get it.
His body was here, and his mind was somewhere else.
Now, whenever the person isn't homegrown, you'd have to search to find out where he's from. They don't really promote where he's from. They don't say the words like foreign.
From Yemen.
Yeah, they don't even try to. They hide that fact that he is not homegrown. They prefer the homegrowns. So NBC is reporting Monday afternoon that a Los Angeles man has been arrested on terrorism charges. As Pete Williams just reported on MSNBC, NBC News has learned that a Los Angeles man has been arrested on terror-related charges. He allegedly discussed wanting to kill LAPD officers and set off explosives at a Santa Monica pier and a LA freeway, said NBC Bureau, the Bureau from NBC. So this Gary...
keep on going down a little bit more.
This Gary Glumlich, hold on. Pete Williams just reported, so he's just kind of repeating what I read. What do you got here? The man described as a former member of the U.S. military allegedly voiced support for ISIS. Investigators say he was under surveillance for weeks after he went online allegedly posting angry rants about the killing of Muslims in mosque in New Zealand. Gumbich reported or continued. So,
wow.
The man had several guns and was allegedly attempting to obtain explosive material when he was arrested in a sting operation. California has seen its share of terror over the past couple of weeks. Saturday, a man opened fire inside a synagogue in San Diego, killing 1 and injuring 4. Last week, an Iraq war veteran with PTSD drove his car into a group of people, injuring 8. He reportedly wanted to kill Muslims. So this story is developing, and
you can almost feel the propaganda and them trying to instigate a certain war against classes of people.
It'd be interesting to see this vet. Was he seeking treatment? Was he under therapy? Was he receiving pills? Did he have a smartphone? And was he hearing voices?
Yes.
Was he hearing
and
voices?
Did he? I mean,
that's the truth, folks. It's just the bottom line. We'll look into that. Unbelievable.
Was it VA care? Was it a private psychiatrist? Was it unknown doctor's visit? I mean, it's Could be. Could be. But the problem is all that kind of stuff is perspective. Well, who cares if he was a U.S. and Army veteran? What does that have to do with anything? I mean, they say the most. It's almost like they want to add that little bit of propaganda, little sprinkling of lies, where it's like what makes no difference. It's almost like they'll report on a news story and they'll also break down the color of the skin and the neighborhood they lived in. They even go to report on the crime itself.
Yeah. All right, here's one for you, Ben. You go ahead and take this one.
It says Professor Obama's our white knee grows. Witness is terrorism.
Whiteness is terrorism.
Yeah, whiteness is terrorism. Professor has a history of racially charged comments. Says Peter Obstructa.
Right.
What's he saying here? A Trinity College professor who was previously disciplined for vile race hatred had sparked outrage again with his last social media quips. White Negroes really need a lot of therapy and a good old ass kicking, Johnny Eric Williams said on his Facebook page April 9th. He was subsequently asked if he was referring to
I wasn't
black
getting that word
right-wing...
Negroes until just now. I finally
get it. It's a play on his semantics, word kung fu, word porn.
Man.
People, you see what he was doing there? You can't say it. So how does he spell it? Check it out. Gets even better. He subsequently asked if it was referring to black right-wing commentator Cameron Owens. Instead, he claimed it was referring to former President Barack H. Obama and his wife, Michelle. Quote, I am referring to her and her less brazen but more insidious, dangerous white Negroes like Barry and Michelle Obama and many other white Negroes you encounter daily, he said.
Wow. This guy is something else. I mean, what the heck?
I mean, think about it.
What
That's
the
like
heck,
the same
man?
thing as like somebody said, I don't like you. What did you call me? No, I had to take a poo. It's like it's like what are we dealing with this here? Grows.
Yeah,
like what is it, like you have Chinese and then there's American knees, there's Russian knees, it's all talking about the knees, people.
I'm referring to the other less brazen. Wow, that is just something else. All right, here, I'll read a little bit, I think. I don't know how much is here. So, on Easter Sunday, Williams went on another racist tirade on social media. Uh-oh, this ain't going to age well for this guy. All self-identified white people, no exceptions, are invested in and collude with systematic white racism / white supremacy, he said on Twitter. In an act of cowardice and unwillingness to defend his own ideas, Williams made his Twitter account private after backlash. He also said whiteness is terrorism as part of the same Twitter rant. Williams took a mutually agreed upon leave of absence from Trinity College 2 years ago after making racially divisive comments, including a Facebook post that said, "Let them effers die," in reference to white people. College president Joan Berger Sweeney said the college lost $200,000 in donations as a result, and students had withdrawn from matriculating. There you go. The report said. She said with his right to freedom of expression, said she agreed with his right to freedom of expression, but attempted to mitigate? Yeah, mitigate potential damage from Williams' comments.
That's crazy.
Academic freedom is not absolute. However, Berger Sweeney said at the time, the events of the recent weeks have compelled us to ask important questions about the limits of such freedom and responsibilities of faculty members who hold special positions in the academic community.
What kind of special positions do they hold? Like what? Like, I call those, you mean tenured professors that can't get fired, that has to go through a whole board of people before they're let go.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yes, man. These professors have lost their mind, you know. It's not bad at all.
Now, didn't Trump sign some free speech law and all call not some free speech law, but like a thing on like free speech in campuses or something like that? I don't know if he had. I think I was
remember
watching
he was
something on
restoring freedom of speech.
in all areas. Remember that time he was restoring freedom of speech
Remember
to a
that
place
time
where
that
it
he
was
said,
not?
"Hold my beer. I'm gonna go restore freedom of speech real quick."
Yeah, I remember.
You remember the time, Trump?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Oh man, that's crazy. That's crazy.
All right, so let's look at another
A
article
lot of
here.
stuff going on, that's for sure.
I'll tell you what, man. That is just. So where's that Trinity College at? Anybody know? Anybody gone there? Anybody know this guy?
Is that like I want to say down south, Georgia, Alabama, somewhere there in there? I don't know. Let me check it out. Let me see here. Well, you know what?
What
all
about Biden?
all you great people.
Real quick, what do you think
tell
about
us about
Biden
that.
yesterday saying, "I'm going to get this country back to where the press wasn't investigating, what was it, political scandals or presidents and stuff like."
I think he was saying political scandals.
Yeah, I want to get back to where the press isn't all,
covering political scandals and getting back to what's right and what's
so
going on with
okay,
our
so just
country.
ignoring them again, even though this isn't one, but
Well, yeah, that way you can go to an office and say, "Don't look at me, man. Now, come on."
man, that Avenatti is just.
I like how Biden said that President Trump doesn't care about Americans. You know what I mean? That was and his saints.
It's just a hard sell, That's a hard sell there.
When I see Biden, I just see a predator.
I see a groper. A groper.
And he enjoys coming up from behind his prey.
I saw one where he's trying to grab his girl by the cheek and she had to move. I mean, there's some pretty bad ones.
I bet you came from behind like a predator.
You know it.
Like
you
a
know
predator. Touched for the very. Biden grabbing her chin. See if I really saw this.
There's just so many to choose from. Which event are you talking about? This is a normal behavior for this individual here.
Well, this guy yesterday, this was crazy. Joe.
Bless you, Ben.
Oh, I'll receive it, brother.
I don't see this certain one I saw.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, little sneezer. That's a freebie right there, peoples.
Get that evil out of you. Get that evil out of you.
Get that evil.
Oh yeah.
Evil be gone.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got a little special treat here anyway. We'll see how this.
Do I know you somehow?
My name is.
My fellow Americans.
Oh my gosh! Look, he's only got 3 fingers.
Or
4.
Hillary and I had a bet to see who could run for president the most often and lose. She's 0 for 2, and after
She's
this,
over 8.
I'll be 0 for 3. I plan to gaff myself out of this race so fast that even Sean Hannity won't have time to make a soundbite montage of my screw-ups. Now,
But
as most of you can
this
see,
is so right.
I'm white. I'm not only white, I'm what you might call pasty. I'm also a man. And despite the fact that my middle name is Robinette, I'm straight.
Robinette.
I guess that's a better drag name than Beto. But those 3 reasons
Oh.
should be enough to disqualify me as a candidate by the modern Democrat standard.
Right
But
back at it.
nevertheless, I'm running anyway. I'm still undecided on whose record I should run on. If I run on my own record,
Why don't
then
that
nobody
chick
will vote for me.
like some of these
because I've
comments
already
are saying,
accomplished that
knee him in the
mission
groin,
despite serving 6 terms in the Senate.
elbow him up the chin.
It's hard to get anything done when you're having drinking contests with
You
Ted
don't-
Kennedy every night. I didn't serve until 3 years after his funeral.
Oh my
I
gosh.
drink
could run
Smirnoff.
off Obama's record. But if I get the nomination, then Nancy might lose the House again. I've never seen a more popular guy with such short coattails. Now the thing to remember about this election is that we have to defeat Trump no matter what the cost. Sure,
Oh my
the economy's good, and people have
The
more
groper.
jobs, but what does that have to do with prosperity? I could say a lot about Trump, but suffice it to say, he discriminates. I've never seen a guy who is so
I agree with you
discriminatory in
guys.
my life.
I want to see some
He
handcuffs
says he
on
only
those
wants to date his own
creepy
daughter.
fingers and hands
I,
and
on the
wrists.
other hand, want to date everyone's daughter. Anyway, I hope you consider voting for me. Or not. I
Creepy
mean,
Joe,
who cares
go
really
to
anyway,
Gitmo.
Right? Paid for by the people who kind of want to get Joe Biden elected.
I want everybody's
Oh my
daughter. I want
gosh.
everybody's daughter. Yeah.
That's how he thinks.
Creepy Biden.
Oh, crazy creepy Biden.
Daughter. I want everybody's daughter from behind.
Man, that's
The mystical.
and you know
dad.
what? Here's the thing: is he's sweet talked and smooth talk with that silver wicked tongue all the way to where he's at, and now it's almost like he's at the age to where he's can't hold it in, he can't control, he's not as refined, he's not as he just can't help himself. He's slipping big time, and a lot of these people are really showing their quote unquote what they're working with, and they just can't help themselves anymore. It's almost like a crackhead getting taunted with a big old fat crack rock, and he's like, I don't smoke that no more. No, he's like, yes, you do. You want it. He's like, and then all the cameras are on him, but he still go for it. Oh my gosh, it's craziness.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't find this new one I saw yesterday, guys. It was like Joe Biden in a driveway, and I don't know.
Sigma 11, I agree.
And he went to go, kind of grab this girl's chin, and she moved all out of the way, and I don't know what was going on.
Wow.
Just went to go kind of use.
She knows about stranger danger, and her father taught her
telltale
well.
Signs
about,
were right there, and she kind of knew.
All right, daughter,
Get away.
gain your distance from your target before striking. That's why she stepped back. She was ready to do a little sack punch or a throat jab. That's what she was doing. That girl.
So
knew
we've been
what's
on a
up.
kick this week. We both kind of watched. Ben had watched one the other night. I started it and only saw the 10 minutes before I crashed out. But I had watched one about Gary Webb, which is a true story about a reporter that broke kind of like the CIA's involvement with bringing in a bunch of drugs for the Iran-Contra Nicaragua war with President Reagan. He got denied from Congress to have any kind of funding to help, so they went out on their own and were basically bringing in drugs, selling them. The people that were selling them in the major cities for them, if they got busted and went down, which eventually they all did, all the low-level people, their lives were destroyed and ruined, and these mid-level people that worked for the government and kind of hooked up the street cred people, they would keep moving on and get new people, and eventually they probably went down of sorts as well, who knows. But that brings us to the movie like Made in America or whatever with Tom Cruise playing the pilot. This Gary Webb one was crazy. I can't remember the name of it. And then that one that you watched, what's this one that you found called the
it was an old school one. It was the Falcon and the Snowman.
Falcon and the Snowman.
With in 1985, I think Sean Penn, and there was another dude that we couldn't figure out who he was, but another well-known guy. I mean, the whole premise is this guy, hooks up with the job with the CIA, and he basically just is the guy who's all the CIA at the time, the Office of Information was coming into one central building and in one central room, and it was him and a couple other people in there who was basically reading off those old school, like, ticker tape, old school printers that, and they were getting communications from all over the earth about different operations going on.
Yeah, and I saw up to where they got the
to
wrong cable dropped and like, oops, ignore the last message. Hey, do me a favor over there, buddy. Go ahead
hold
and
on
get
real
rid of
quick.
that. They had sent him like the wrong, like they got some wrong intel there, and the one guy was starting to read a lot of them, is what I took it as. Like, that's what this whole premise is. He starts reading too much of the information when, and then you can kind of get self-involved in that, Woodman, and this intel communities. That's the downfall. So that was a premise of Snowden, that he was looking at too much of the information and he couldn't help himself, but I got to get this out there to the people, which sounds good and is a very patriotic story to go by, but we know Snowden's story to be a little different. But yeah, this movie here on this guy's account, he started looking at the information. We'll see if so yeah, was that what happened, Ben, there, that he started looking at some of the information a little too much? Because I saw that he read the one and then it came through, sorry, wrong place, hey, do me a favor, buddy, delete this, or get rid of it.
Well, basically what
what
he discovered was that there was an ongoing kind of a secret policy of plausible deniability, and as he was seeing these different missions come in, he was supposed to read them, categorize them, send them off, then shred the actual original transcripts or whatever. And he was realizing that the CIA was doing operations all over the world, subverting elections, government. And when he started to realize that was when he went to the library and started going across like articles from back in the day, and he was reading such and such Venezuelan official gets down for corruption, possible CIA payment involvement, and he kind of deduced that they were formed to pretty much do outside, or what they call unilateral operations, which were operations not known or approved by Congress.
And this would tell us too that, like, that guy there, by going to the libraries, looking up historical facts, finding the articles that talk about possible CIA influence in the Venezuelan election. I mean, we can look around the world now and see certain people propped up. We know that Hillary and Obama were even partaking in those games. You can go back to Bush and then probably go back to Clinton. But they strategically bomb places. They work with people inside these governments that aren't presidents yet, or dictators, or whatever you want to call them, ambassadors, but they prop these people up. Sometimes the people end up revolting against these people that are handpicked by other countries to kind of sly in there, and that's when we see chaos. But man, if we were to believe that the CIA's had a hand in everything, not every single country, but a lot of them, and persuading, it's still a real chaotic system, and maybe that's the whole point, to keep it chaotic, to keep it.
Yeah, I mean, the movies, he flips and he starts selling the information to the Russians.
Now, this is based on a true story as well.
And it is based on true story as well. He became very jaded. And it just, the bottom line is, it's like you can see that, both of these movies have, in correlation with compartmentalization, is it one of the themes? Basically,
movement of
getting
information.
Flow of information, of course, because back then they understood what we now know as a household name is plausible deniability. That whole idea back then was very fresh. That's why they had to have non-governmental agencies work with the government.
Yes, they're still doing a lot of that outsourcing. They learned that a long time ago, that the government agent guy can never smoke the drugs if he's in some undercover drug thing that they're trying to take down, but they can have a civilian be a government contractor and have him doing all of that stuff and then feeding the information back, and then they got their plausible deniability. That always ends bad for that guy. I mean, the bottom line is, folks, it always ends bad for that. This too good to be true type of scenario ends up knocking at your front door. So that was a very good point out of that movie. It was funny, in this movie they have really kind of old, obscure, secure shredders, and they're making drinks out of them. The guy from day one, that's all the guy does, is sit there and make drinks, Bloody Marys and margaritas, but they're pouring it right into the government shredder, and this thing does a one cycle thing into a box and then shoots it into a compartment, a plastic container. And he's like, oh yeah, just make some drinks and pours all this stuff in it. And he pours it into 2 cups.
Their whole job was to shred information.
Shredding
That's
information.
why he had a conflict of a crisis of conscience, if you will, because his whole job was to shred.
And
the
he got
paper.
it. His old man, his dad was the one. He goes, Dad, I need a job or whatever. And his dad's like, I got you set up here. Report here on Monday. And he just looked. He goes, this is probably gonna be a cool job, I bet, Dad, or whatever. And he goes there, and of course, it's like his dad is already somebody, so he gets him in. And this is like, could be how it really works. People like this, I mean, they were nobodies, kind of really, but somebody's because of the money or who your dad is and position wise.
Who you associate with, your society you belong to, the school. We talked about this. Like, what special?
But what he tells his buddy, he goes, "How much you making?" He goes, "125 a week." Right? It was just 125 a week, right? Roughly.
Yeah, it was like I think it's something like that, like 100.
But back in 1985, he's making 500 and 550 a week.
Now he had a company car, he had health care and pension and things like that, but
and to sit there all day long and just drink it up and make margaritas and shred it,
sacred documents. That's all he did all day.
Your whole life, crazy,
wild.
So, all right, we're at the 50-minute mark. Let's wrap this up. You guys got anything you want to say? Any questions or comments from anybody out there? Any questions for Ben or Woodman? I see Amy the Mods, Simone.
Oh yeah,
Ellis.
by the way,
hello, ladies.
All
Lori
you mods
M's
are awesome. I saw
Grandpa C. Jack Rooney's in the house. Lori M. Amy the Mod. Some of my favorite mods: Simone, Amy, Lori. Who else is in there?
I think I saw
Danielle.
Chris Stockton there earlier.
Chris Stockton was in there earlier. Danielle was in earlier.
I saw Anime was there.
Anime.
Nice. Lori
yep,
M
I see
for
Chris.
sure. Paula
Cobra
B.
Kai never dies.
The Cobra Kai never died. Oh, he's an old Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Talk about that. Karate Kid. That guy was just such a bully coming in town, wrecking this dude's and taking his girl.
Can I get a Woodman to say Cobra Kai never dies?
yeah.
No, I watched that whole season 2 as well, man. I kind of like that because I grew up, 80s Karate Kid. I remember going to the theater for part 2. I remember my mom taking me. I was really little to part 2. I'm maybe 7, 8 years old, or 5 or 6 or something. But
well, I grew up in the Bruce Lee area.
Yeah. Silent film.
That's his whole part of it for sure.
You grew up in that silent film era.
What is that again? Was that black and white?
That black and white, like you guys had to crank. Somebody had to hand crank something while you kind of watched and laughed.
As long as it didn't blow the candle out, you're all right.
As long as you didn't blow the candle out. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's really good.
That's how I used to get the old night vision. But I don't have my whiskey handy.
Here's our night vision. Here's your binoculars.
That was old school. Uphill both ways, no shoes on, 2 feet of snow.
Oh, you know it. You know it.
Man, you guys, we got some of the best Patriots here for sure, man. I mean, I'm seeing 107 you guys in the room watching live now. And no, man, definitely hit the thumbs up, subscribe for sure.
Johnny Lawrence would take Bruce Lee.
Just saying.
Yeah, I don't believe so.
Hey, Chris, I'll ask you, have you ever seen the parody that Johnny Lawrence did about 7 years ago? It's called Sweep the Leg. Look that up. Johnny Lawrence, Sweep the Leg. It's like a video. It's like a video, but it's got almost everybody in there minus like Mr. Miyagi or Pat Morita. But it's got almost everybody in this little video. Somehow they got everyone together. I think it was directed by William.
Awesome Mad Cow Mark.
Zaporka or whatever his name was.
Australia. Yeah, that was a funny one though. Check it out.
All right, guys. Well, this will be rebroadcast tonight on the Patriot Hour as a premiere, probably 8 o'clock or something. So check that out. Yep, Chris, check that out. You'll if you enjoy the Karate Kid or the Cobra Kai thing.
Yeah, and just Little Tuesday trash talk today.
Yep, little
Definitely
Tuesday
enjoying
trash
it.
talk. Got Rod Rosenstein. We're keeping an eye on lots of different things, folks. Waiting
Hot
for some
Rod's
other
on
things.
fire.
Hot Rod. So, all right, Woodman. You have a great afternoon. We'll all get back together here real soon. Here it is again, Tuesday trash talk.
Triple T threat.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. Hey, somebody got to keep praying for Venezuela people down there. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's amazing how many people are being detained now at the south border of Mexico. You know, there's a lot of people down there, and they just can't handle it down there. You know, it's insane. They had a couple of people on there talking about how many different countries they went through just to get to where they were at, waiting to get into the United States. It's crazy, man. I just don't get it. You know, you got to have that wall, and you can't let these people. Democrats, 20 years ago were saying, no, 30 years, 40 years ago probably, were saying we can't afford to have them keep coming in because, you know, you have welfare and all that stuff. We can't afford to pay for that. That was way back then. I guess now they can afford it. I don't know, because they didn't want to argue about junk. You heard that, right?
Oh, yeah. We got you, brother.
Oh yeah.
We'll keep them in our thoughts. We got Ben up now.
No, I just was, you know, it's interesting the fact that, you know, it's a good thing we can kind of make fun of a couple different things because it's good to laugh, whatnot. But obviously, knowing that you're right, though, Woodman, there's a lot of things happening in Venezuela. A lot of people coming up through the south, wanting to get a better life here. But you know, the honestly thing is, there's good living all over this God's earth. I tell you what, it's not. We're great here. But we start making the change, and what we see what's happening across the pond in France, in Spain. We have even in London area, and that little small area, well, not small, but I mean, you know, rather than London, it's like things are happening all over, and I think they're seeing what's happening here and watching carefully, and that's having almost like a ripple effect across the pond. So it's going to be interesting to see this next couple of weeks what does come down, and even on a larger international scale, how our trade agreements are going, because I think that's starting to kind of roll up pretty soon too.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. Whether you guys have it, we have Ben and Woodman, and we always a blessing to have them in studio to beaming in like this. I think we got some stuff planned for some in studios coming up soon, but this works and we love it. So. All right, brothers, until next time, we'll see you guys real soon.
Yes, sir.
Over and out. Raja Daja.
Airborne.
All right.
All right, folks, there you have it. Again, yeah, we'll keep, we care about all of our patriots all around the world, far and wide, folks. We all are on the same team, all right? So we're all fighting for the same things, which is just peace, prosperity for all, and to be free and to keep our liberties. All right, that is the most important, and keep friends and family safe, keep them informed. We're gonna keep following along here. We got Ben, we got Woodman, we got people like Scott, Nate, we got tons of patriots here, part of the Patriot Hour, doing work, keeping you know, always hitting me up with things to go over or things they think I should look at. So you do the same thing. All right, spread the word, share across all social media platforms while you can. We are heavily shadow banned. We appreciate it. Take a look in the description box, all the links that we go over typically down below, and the links for the donation, which we appreciate. We've gotten several yesterday. You guys are great. We truly, truly appreciate it. Again, I'm Mike. This is a Patriot Hour. God bless, Godspeed to each and every one of you worldwide. We'll see you back here on the next Patriot Hour update video real soon.